Hello guys, welcome once again to your favorite I'm Amazing channel. And before I proceed, I want to give a bit of a shout out to those who've been dropping comments and have been dropping feedback. Thank you so much. That's the breakfast of champions, and we need that to continually improve and all of that. As usual, we talk the plug series here, PLUG, productivity, life hacks, and learning, relearning, and goal achievement formula cards. In today's session, we're going to be talking about the early morning gang, and so we're talking about two things in the plug, so that's productivity and life hacks as well. Stay tuned. So in our world today, there's a lot of talk about the fact that being super successful could be a bit linked to waking up early, but then there's also a school of thought that says you don't have to wake up so early. You have people that build up momentum towards the later part of the day. However, in a survey done by Sleepopolis, where they assessed 21 of the richest people on the planet, it was seen that you had at the extreme end, on the left side, people who were 7 a.m. and even earlier, so you call them the 7 a.m. gang, and that comprised people like Jack Dorsey and people like even Tim Cook, who were going even earlier, like 3:45 a.m., and even Jeff Bezos, obviously on the 7 a.m. gang. And then on the other side of the divide, you had people like Alexis Ohanian waking up super late, I mean like 10:30 a.m. Kind of time, but still being super successful. However, when you look at the entire trend, you still see that at least in 7 out of 10 cases, people who are successful, super successful, are part of the 7 a.m. gang from the survey that was captured. So then that means there's something that actually is working for those people who are able to, rev it up and just wake up at that very early part of the day. And let's look at those few things and how that flows. In an ever dynamic and rigorously challenging world, we could easily get lost in all of the operational issues we have to fix, the problem at work, the exams that we have to study for, kids running around and all of that. So these things make us busy and tense, and we may not be able to dedicate the right time to meditate and be able to connect with ourselves and our purpose and even our higher power, our creator. According to Kay Hayes, the author of Psychology Today, transient hyperfatality means that for a while, under certain conditions, the part of the brain that helps us to focus is able to get a rest. And this really allows other parts and functions to become a lot more dominant and more effective. And going by this as well, it encourages as well the release of dopamine and serotonin, which obviously help us feel good and keep executing stuff at our peak levels. Info from the Bureau of Labor Statistics shows that the average American, even though works 8 to 9 hours per day, actually does not work for a significant part of that time that they're at work. With a whole lot of distractions ranging from every single thing, social media, so many things, we literally have just 4 hours and about 30 minutes of unproductive time. So if you take that out of the 8 hours and around 48 minutes of what we gather to be the average work time, you have just about 4.5 hours still of real time of work, and less than 4 hours if you want to stick to the 8-hour window. Back in the days, anytime I got up later than 7 a.m., personally I would feel like I was trying to catch up. And that's because the day literally would look like it's been already set, and I would be trying to follow up or rather catch up with things that were going, which is a big difference between, or rather from, leading the day itself. Now, when you were able to join the early bird gang, you enjoy what you want to call like the first mover advantage, because you're able to seize the day at the early part of the day, and the day literally just works for you. So what are those things that we can do to get on the train of the early bird gang? First of all, we have to go to bed early. There is no gainsaying this one. Early to bed, early to rise. Next, we need to ensure we cut down on the screen time before we get into bed. A lot of us are guilty of this. I was guilty of this for lots and lots of
times, because everyone would just want to ease off on social media before they get into bed. But scientifically, it's been proven that if you're able to get your phones or your devices off at least 30 minutes before you sleep, it actually improves the quality of your sleep. Also, we need to intentionally disconnect from all of those pressures of the day. You won't be able to get a good sleep if you're still stuck on the activities and what happened today, and you're brooding over what will go on tomorrow. You just need to log off completely. It's easier said than done, but once you keep trying, you'll find out that you can really, really embrace this. And then finally, you have to be intentional. To be able to activate your intentionality to embrace this lifestyle, you need to take it easy first of all on your step. Break out all those activities into micro steps. Visualize them. And then obviously you need to get an accountability partner so you can make this happen.
And so the benefits that we're able to rake in just by joining the Early Bird Gang really cannot be overstated. You see, first of all, at that early time of the day, you're able to reduce stress levels, and that's really a big time, significant input. On top of that as well, join the Early Bird Gang at that point in time helps you activate self-awareness because you're able to meditate, because it sets you on the right track, provides the right platform for you to meditate, and that really helps with your mental health, your emotional health, as well as your physical health.
Normally when we're active, our prefrontal cortex is super analyzing things, it's rationalizing, it's taking a whole lot of inputs from the amygdala and trying to balance things and all of that. But the beautiful thing is when we wake up early and seize the day at that early time, basically the prefrontal cortex temporarily switches off. And so that activity system does not happen. So that's the best time to seize it in. And this is a process that scientists call the Transient Hyperfatality. And you can just imagine the kind of productivity you're then able to achieve just by getting an overall 2 hours by this entire activity system. And so you'll agree with me that it becomes a much more productive and efficient gameplay when we're able to seize the day a bit earlier. Now, it doesn't mean you have to wake up super early, but just ensuring that overall you're able to get into the day a bit earlier would really reap for you disproportionate gains later on in the day and overall when you assess the entire day. And so that's it for today. Thank you so much for your time and for listening. As usual, do not forget to click the like button, subscribe if you haven't done that yet on this amazing channel, and click the bell button to constantly get notifications on all of this. Stay amazing and say to yourself, I'm amazing.